All right. Welcome again to a Bethel TV Land. We are in service. I'm Bishop Ronald K. Harrison Jr. Welcome to the house of Yah. We're here at 118 Cheney Avenue, Jacksonville, North Carolina, 28540. Time to service, Shabbat, 11:30. Then we got Yahuwah study, instruction of Torah. Yom Revi at 7. Then we got beginning of the Shabbat, which Yom Shishi was yesterday at 7 o'clock. The phone number at Bethel is 910-388-5295. The bishop phone number, my phone number is 910-381-3056. The Creed of Bethel, we believe in one Yahuwah, one faith, one baptism. And Ephesians chapter 2, verse 20, our foundation is built upon the apostles and the prophets, and Yahushua Mashiach, chief cornerstone. Those are the groundworks of the Bethel. That's one thing we stick on. We stick with the Dabarim. All right. We're going to start our Shabbat scriptures today. Anybody got Shabbat scriptures they want to share? All right. I'm not going to say anything. Y'all going to help me out?
Bishop, I can share one.
All right, go ahead.
I'm going to do Isaiah 66, but instead of just the 4 verses, I'm going to go back up to verse 15. For behold, Elohim will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Elohim plead with all flesh, and the slain of Elohim shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination, and the mouse, shall be consumed together, saith Elohim. For I know their works, and their thoughts it shall come, that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, Pul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Javan, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my name, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto Elohim, out of all nations, upon horses and in chariots, and in leaders, and upon mules, and upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith Elohim, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of Elohim. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith Elohim. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Elohim, so that your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith Elohim. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorrent unto all flesh.
All right. I got a couple of Shabbat scriptures too to share with. Then I'm getting on my sermon. Talk about leaven. All right, let's go to Nehemiah chapter 13. The reason why we go on Shabbat scriptures, so that you will know the reason why we keep Shabbat, is to rehearse Shabbat scriptures in your ears. Nobody they don't rehearse you on your Sunday. You keep on coming back to Sundays. They just keep on saying, come out to church. But it's commanded us to come on Shabbat day. You know, like I said, tomorrow on Rosh Hashanah, on Sunday, I can go to church if I want to, but tomorrow I'm going to cut some grass. Yeah, that's going to be with me on Rosh Hashanah. And so anybody get mad because I don't go to church on Sunday, that's their problem. You know, not mine. Now, if I go to the house of Yah, if I want to go to the house of Yah on a Sunday, it's on my discretion. But on a Shabbat, it's commanded you be here. If you're not here on a Shabbat day, that means you got an idol. You're worshiping somebody else. Somebody else is more important than Yah. And that's, you got to take that up with Yah. You want to take that up with me? I'm just a messenger. You want to shoot me, that's fine. You're going to deal with y'all again and with that too. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with y'all with both of them. That's what I'm saying. It's hard, man. It's hard on that part. That's why you need to leave y'all's people alone. Like I shared with Minister Fabian, we was talking about last night, man, about Pharaoh. He just didn't understand. He didn't understand that covenant with Abraham. A lot of people be missing that covenant. That's one of the first covenant y'all was talking about. We are his first sons. You know what I'm saying? That's his child. You know you don't mess with anybody's child anyway. You know you mess with somebody's child, you'll get messed up anyway. So you mess up with Yesarel. You mess with Yesarel, that's what happened with Pharaoh. Pharaoh done tore him up. You know, y'all done tore Pharaoh up so bad, he was thinking so bad. So, yeah, Brother Page, I didn't get the scripture yet, man. I'm sorry. You ready, boy? You ready to rock and roll? Chapter 13, let's go to verse 15. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Shabbat, bringing in sheaves and laden asses, and as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought to Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testify against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of wares, and sold on the Shabbat day, Shabbat unto the children of Judah and Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, what evil thing is this that you do, and profane the Sabbath day? That was a question mark. Nehemiah said, what evil thing is this that you do, and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, did not y'all bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Question mark. Yet you bring more wrath upon Yisrael by profaning the Sabbath. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burdens be brought in on the Sabbath day. So the merchants and the sellers of all kinds of wares lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge you about the wall? If you do again, I will lay hands on you. From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath. All right.
They trying to get bright and early.
There you go. He put his servant out there, you know what I'm saying, tell nobody to bring any wares and stuff on that, you know. And I'm going to get a little bit of my sermon, what Nehemiah did, no more wares into Jerusalem, you know, into the city and Judea. That means so they won't profane the people even more. He was cutting that avenue, that sin, that root, you know, that was coming in, you know, so they defile that evil, profane the Sabbath. So he cut it off. He shut the gates. You know, so no more sin will come in Jerusalem. And I'm saying the same with us. We got to cut things off. You know, he cut it before the city. So nobody in the city could profane. So what is evil that you doing? You know, did our Father cuss all this evil? Did our Father commit this evil and then y'all put this evil upon us? He's talking about how Jerusalem burnt down because they would not keep the Sabbath. He let Nebuchadnezzar come and destroy Jerusalem. And he's talking about, you don't remember what y'all done did? You let the Chaldeans come in here and destroy this place? You forget? Now y'all let us, mercy on us, and y'all gave us a chance to build the city again? And you will come and continue the same sin again, which you destroyed us the first time? You know what I'm saying? Nehemiah was heated about that. You do it again, I'm going to lay some hands on you. Straight up. Come up here again, I'm going to lay hands on you. So don't let nobody tell you can't lay hands on somebody. Nehemiah said, I'm going to lay hands. You come and sin again like this, I'm going to lay hands on you. Straight up. Causing y'all to come up in here and, man, destroy this place again. That's the reason why I say the same thing against same-sex marriage and all that abortion. I'm going to talk about it. Because if you don't, y'all who gonna let the next hurricane come through here and tear this place up, and you right up in here. Destroying your house too. I don't want y'all to come up and always destroying my house, let rain coming down, water come down, destroying my equipment and stuff because of your sin. That's what I'm going to talk about that. Oh, yes, y'all can put his metal keys and save your house and all that, but nah. I'm going to let you know so you can stop all that wind and stuff, holding down the days of work. We was out of work for about a week. That's your money. You got a job, they're going to pay you anyway. I'm self-employed. I got to work every day and let the job come. My business got to open every day. I got to work every day, let the business come into the door so I can get paid. That's what I'm talking about. When a hurricane come and mess up the whole week, I didn't get paid that whole week because you want to sin. You know? See, you ain't looking at stuff like that. You messing with my income. You messing up with my money because you want to sin. Commit a same-sex marriage. Coming up abortions and coming up adultery and fornication, coming up murder and stuff, of all your wickedness. I'm going to speak about it because y'all is chastising the whole state, the whole country because you're wickedness, and I'm in the whole country too. You know, now that's why I got the right to speak that. So you'll stop all that little stuff, you know, and you repent, and we all and ask God, y'all forgive us, so y'all go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Y'all live in little Jacksonville, North Carolina alone. Leo County. That's what Nehemiah was doing. He was saving the whole city. He got tired of that. That's why he went to the king. Talking about why you're sorrow for all that. The cupbearer. The king was asking like, do my little city live in waste and all this, and I'm all living royalty and all that stuff. The queen had heart. Let him go back. To go back and build the gates and build the walls of Jerusalem and everything. You know what I'm saying? And everybody built up there, and one working, the other one has swords and shields, and you know what I'm saying, going on, and then you're going to catch around, and after you don't get the walls, and did the feast days and everything, and the walls are looking good, and you get the Jerusalem, then after everything good, then you're going to start sinning again, all the work I don't did and pray? No, man. Nah. You let my prayers be in vain and go down to waste because you want to go and commit a sin and wickedness again? That's what Nehemiah was talking about, Ezra was talking about. No, man. Pulling all his hair out, man, going bald, going on the ground, putting sackcloth on there, praying before Yahuwah. That's crazy. Same stuff today. That's why I love this country right here for freedom of religion, our First Amendments. That's why Dad got on the bridge. That's why I couldn't stand it. Talking about your country. I don't know why he used to say that to me all the time, but I understand now. I owe my country. Dad had it right, he said that. Because when he said that and I joined this country right now, I have the right now. You can't say nothing to me now when I want to praise y'all. I serve this country. I can worship y'all the way I'm supposed to worship. I fought for this country. You can't say jack to me now. You know what I'm saying? We were slaves in this country. You know what I'm saying? We work to till the ground right now. Now I fought for this country too. Ancestors and everything. I got rights in this country. You can't say nothing about that. But I love it. Our forefathers, their forefathers said freedom of religion, our First Amendment. I love it. That's why Nehemiah was saying those things. You know what I'm saying? Stop the evil. Stop the wickedness, man. Because Yahuwah, man, they're going to destroy this place again. Which we already know he's going to do this again, man. We already know it's coming again, but still, I'm trying to hold on a little bit, man. Yes, he's going to destroy it, but destroy something over there, man. I'm building all this stuff right there, and here comes wind and blow everything down because of your sin, man. Then I got to rebuild again, you know? And then you up doing it again, sinning and not want to change, and here comes another tornado, hurricane, destroyed again. But I'm going to keep on building because I got to live. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep on sharing the gospel, the Bezerah. I'm going to keep on preaching Yeshua. I'm going to keep on preaching, turn from your wicked ways. I'm going to keep on speaking about the same-sex marriage and abortions and the murdering, you know, the lying, cheating, and stealing, the hatred. I'm going to talk all about that. till y'all get you where you repent and turn from your wicked way, or you got to get enough, you can't stand around me, you got to go somewhere else. That's why I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to keep it up. That's what Nehemiah was doing on Shabbat day. And he said, why you keep on profaning the Shabbat day? He made sure they won't profane no more. How he made sure he won't profane no more? He cut all the avenues and all the gates. How many gates are there, Minister Favor? What, 7 gates to go into Jerusalem? I don't know how many gates were there. To get in the city?
I think it was 1.
One now, but back in the day, there was about 12 gates. I don't know how many gates there was. There you go, Sister Sue. That's your homework. Boy, I know Sister Sue will look it up. I want to know how many gates in that day to get in Jerusalem. All right? How many gates? The time of Nehemiah when he built the gates. So he had to shut all those gates down. And he had servants right there by each gate. Shut it down. So no man from Mentari and other man sellers come in, merchants, to come in to sell to the people. And that's what y'all was doing at. That leaven, that sin. He stopped the leaven outside the gate before it got into the city. And that's where we got to do things now with our bodies, with our souls. Right now in our ministry field, in our surrounding areas, man. I might apologize to my mother, but I love my mother. That's her house. But she listens to ungodly music, man, that vexes my soul. I come to service right there here, then I go home to my mama's house and listen to all that. I said, Mom, you got to shut it down. And I apologize. I said, Mom, I'm sorry. But that thing vexes my soul, man. That's leaven. Getting up in me. You know? I had to cut it off. You know? Same thing with Nehemiah on Sabbath day. He just cut everything before he got in the gates. He was tired of it. He was tired of it. That's what we got to do about leaven. But it's a Shabbat day. That's a Shabbat scripture. Profaning. How you profane Shabbat? Not coming to service. Doing your own thing. Speaking your own words. Finding your own pleasure. That's how you profane Shabbat. You know? Not even coming to the house of Yah. Not even worshiping Yah. Not even acknowledging Yah that He exists. He's the creator of all things. That's why He told us to worship this day. So you know that, so you are the creation. You know what He done created. You're not the creator. You're the creation. You're supposed to be here this day to acknowledge the creator for all things He did in 6 days. And on the 7th day, you're supposed to worship for Him. Not on no Rosh Hashanah. Not on the first day. Not on no Sunday. You're supposed to go to work that day. Get to work. You know? On this day, he told us to worship. That's why I speak on Shabbat day every time. That's why I speak these scriptures. So that TV now you get in your head and you get mad, you call me. I want you to call me. Please call me. Any pastor out there, want you to call me. Now I don't want to hear about this new covenant, New Testament. There ain't nothing changed. Yahusha didn't change it. You tell me when Yahusha changed the Shabbat day. Now I will go back to Sunday. I will start preaching Sunday. You tell me when. Don't go to Apostle Paul. Please don't go to Apostle Paul. If you go to Apostle Paul, I'm telling you right now, give me another apostle to say the same thing. Because Apostle Paul ain't Yah. That's one man. That's one man. He said, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established. Apostle Paul said one, but he didn't say it like that about the Shabbat day. He just said, just let nobody judge you concerning the feast days and Shabbat days. He just said, no, judge. He didn't say then stop going. You know, and I'll tell you again, Apostle Paul made it every Shabbat day. I can prove that. And Shabbat and Paul didn't miss not a feast day. I can prove that. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for a feast day, he would not have been to Rome. You know what I'm saying? He would have been not hemmed up. That's what y'all used. Y'all used him for his faithfulness to go on the feast day to hem him up, to get him to Rome, to talk to Caesar. That's the whole point of the feast day, because y'all knew Apostle Paul was faithful on the feast days. So don't tell me the Shabbat day and the feast days are wrong. If you do, you are out of alignment with the will of Yah. I'm going to tell you straight up. Because Yeshua kept them all, you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep them all. You know? And we are His children anyway, of Yisrael. We're supposed to keep them anyway. So we keep them, And we're going to be keeping them in the new millennium. What you mean? Yes, there will be feast days in the new millennium, and we're going to keep them too. We keep them all the way from the beginning, the time of Yeshua time, when they said the time of grace, and then the new millennium. We're going to keep them all. Shabbat day from then, and Shabbat day to millennium. It has not changed. All right, last scripture of Shabbat. Minister Richard, stand up and read Exodus chapter 20, verse 8 and 11.
Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11. And it reads, Remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Shabbat of Yah, thy Elohim, and that thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the 7th day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Shabbat day and hallowed it.
Praise Yah for his word. Again, he says, in 6 days Yah made the Shamrim, ruts, and sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the 7th day. Wherefore Yah blessed the 7 days, and he hallowed it. Again, like I said, the 6 days we are his creation. You know, and on the 7th day, the Creator, he blessed that day. Only the Creator could bless and sanctify that day. We do all things in the name of Yeshua. And he said so. That's how we bless and sanctify things, through the name of Yahushua, what Yah told us to. But Yah created and blessed and sanctified that day. Yahuwah did. And he said, not any other day he did, but on the 7th day. And that's the 7th day, that's why we worship. That's why. That's what Yahushua gave me, man. 6 days of creation. 6 days. We are part of his creation. That first day, Roshan, you know what I'm saying? Then Shani, 2nd day. Shalishi, 3rd day. Ravi, 4th. Hamashi, 5th. Shishi, 6th. And Yom Shabbat, 7th. 7 days. But on that 7th day, he sanctified. 7th day, he blessed it. And 7th day, he hauled it. 7th day, he did that. Yahuwah, our Creator, did that. He did those days. On the rest of those days are creation. We was created on the 6th day. On the 6th day of Shishi. We was. Man gave the breath of life and made us a living soul and formed us from the dust of the earth. He did that. Yah, our Creator, did. That's why we praise him, thank him for that. And then he told us to worship him on the 7th day. He told the Melechis, this was before the heaven and earth was created. Read that in Yeshua. I think it's Yeshua or Jubilee. Which one? I don't know. Forgot. Well, I just read it last week. He gave that day for us to worship. And it was before the heaven and earth was created. Before that, then he commanded us to worship. His seed, his son, his firstborn, Yisrael, commanded us to worship. Then if the strangers wants to worship, and Yeshayahu chapter 56, the stranger, he said their offerings and sacrifice will be accepted to him. That's if you keep the Shabbat day. So if I was a stranger, I would keep the Shabbat. Knowing the Most High will accept my prayers, my petition. Maybe like the Satirian, the ones that kept the customs. You know? His son was sick, healed. Know it, Yahushua. Travel all that. We know that you can heal him. He says, please don't go to my house. You just say it and he will be healed. Yahushua said, I marvel him. I didn't see no faith without Jerusalem, without Judea, wherever he said. But the point is, what I'm trying to say is he was a stranger. He probably kept the Shabbat day. And y'all honored his prayer. Y'all honored his sacrifice, which Yahushua was the sacrifice. So that's why I tell you about strangers. When y'all hears a stranger, you must gotta be doing y'all's business. You got to be doing y'all's covenant. You got to do something of y'all if y'all will hear you, your petitions. He said so. You heard Cornelius. He kept all, Satirian, he kept all y'all's words. He sent Peter, which Peter said, I can't eat none clean thing out of my mouth. This is what I call clean, what I call unclean, called clean. It was a metaphor saying right now the Gentiles will be healed, will be saved. Y'all heard his petitions. Cornelius, he was a stranger, so you know he kept the Shabbat day. You already know that. So his sacrifice, but that's why y'all cannot go against his word. And yes, y'all chapter 56, he was a stranger. So his prayers and petitions were answered in the house of Yah. That's how y'all works. Saying it was Shabbat day. Remember that. That's what y'all is dealing with me today on this scripture on Shabbat day. We are his creation. Yah is the creator. All right? Remember that. If you remember that, you will keep the Shabbat. You start running on Sundays, you know, and forget about Shabbat. I ain't saying nothing wrong, worship him, but you forget about the day. You forget all about Shabbat. Then you run on a Sunday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and forget all about the day to worship. That's why you're in sin. That's why you're in sin. So you forget about Shabbat. Because his command, Minister Richard said, he commanded that. I didn't command nothing. Yahuwah did. All right, let's move to the next order of service, because, man, y'all done loaded me up with some scripture, man. Woo! Oh, I praise y'all for the sermon for the day, but I know I ain't going to speak it all. I was just straight writing. I like when I write over 30 scriptures, over 40 scriptures. And I can't use them all. I can, but I ain't going to bore y'all like that. You got to keep y'all in one place. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to do y'all like that. I love y'all too much. But y'all was straight ministering to me this morning. With Minister Family right there, sitting right next to you. Y'all straight raining down on me, boy. I love when y'all do that. Kind of straight down on me. I love the Dr. Ring when y'all just straight ministering to me with his words. Oh, with a subject. With a little push, with a little help with Minister Favor. I thank you, sir. And then, like I said, I got this morning, and Yahuwah started hitting me up. I said, thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all. Thank you, y'all, for your words. Thank you, y'all, for giving me something I can give to my brothers and my sisters. TV land, I got something for you. All right, we're going to be talking about why do y'all tell us to separate from leaven, from the groups of leaven? Why? Leaven, seeing leaven is the group of people. That's what I got. Why do y'all tell us to separate from leaven? Seeing the leaven is a group of people. Seeing that the leaven, we've been talking about leaven all day, all week long, leaven is sin. Now we're going to talk about the groups of sin. How we like to hang out with a group of people that's sinning. You know what I'm saying? Just want to hang out because we feel good being around a group. Y'all says separate yourself. Y'all says get to come out from among them. Be ye separate. I'm going with the scriptures that y'all has given me. You know, we're talking about I like to be around, we're growing a teenager, I like to be around a group, I like to hang around a crowd. They're all sinning, they're all living. You know? Y'all says separate yourself from the unbelievers. So we'll go over some scriptures about that. I'm going to show you where y'all pull some people out, what y'all did about the group. Before, because he said if you get in that group, you're going to stay in that group. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring you down because you're in leaven, and if you got a group of people, it's hard to get out of a group within one person. Because everybody's doing the same thing, and you don't want to leave out that force of group. You know, you're feeling safety right there with a group. You're feeling good around the group, and you want to be the oddball. You want to be ruined. You want to be talked about. That's why you want to leave a group of people, a group of sin. Everybody's sinning, you want to be sinning, so you won't be called out and be feel good. You know, that's the reason why you're staying in that group. You know, just like a pack. When y'all traveling, man, everybody's there, and the speed limit is 70, but everybody else is doing 80, 85. You in that group. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run with it, because the cop can't stop everybody. You know, you in sin, and you straight running. You got to be separate. Come out from there. They wrong. You doing 85 to 90 miles an hour, There goes your license. You're doing 10 over the speed limit, speeding. Your license already revoked. Come out from under them. Be separate. All right, let's go to Colossians chapter 2. Remember, leaven is the group. We've been talking about leaven all week long. It's a feast of unleavened bread. Get it out your house. Means get out your soul. We are the temple of the Yahweh. Colossians chapter 2, verse 20 to 23. Wherefore, if you be dead with the Mashiach for the rudiments of the world, while still living in the world, are ye subject to ordinances? Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using, after the commandments and doctrine of men, which things have indeed shewed of wisdom in the will worship and humility, and neglecting of the body, not in any honor to the satisfying of the flesh. Verse 21, touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish with the using. Look what Apostle Paul said. Which all are to perish with the using, after the commandments and doctrine of men. And he said commandment, doctrine of men, it's just like in America. It's a right for abortion. You got a group of people saying, it's all right, man. You don't care. I don't did it. I had an abortion. It's okay. I done did this. You get these groups. I done did this for my abortion. My husband was fine with it. Or my boyfriend was okay with it. We did this, so I can go ahead and get this job. So it won't hurt your career. You're just too young to have children. You got groups of people telling you about leaven. Taste not. Hell not. You know what I'm saying? Come up out of there. You're talking about the rudiments. You're talking about the doctrines and the commandments of men. It's right here in America. Right here in North Carolina. It's allowed for abortion. You got abortion Dr. Chris and his clinic and everything. Well, he is. I used to go to school with his sons. Didn't know better, but all this time, yeah. But like I said, they passed a law. I remember when they passed a law for same-sex marriage in Charlotte, and I remember we won it. I remember I voted. You know what I'm saying? I voted, and next minute they passed a law, and we voted. The votes for no same-sex marriage was beat the votes that said same sex, but we still lost. I just didn't understand that. And I remember that.
They're trying to push this gender neutral stuff.
Yes, they are. What I'm trying to say is these are the doctrines and commandments of man. In this society, that's correct, lawful. Yes. But Apostle Paul said, touch not, handle not. Don't have no parts with that. Because that's leaven. That's sin. Even though it's lawful for you to do all that stuff, that ain't lawful to y'all. You're going straight to hell if you do all that stuff. Even though you got a good argument with y'all. Yahuwah, it was all right to do this, y'all. Yahuwah, you're at the judgment seat of the throne of judgment, man. Judgment seat, the great white throne judgment. You had a right to speak to y'all, but you ain't going to be speaking to y'all. That day, but Satan, you had a chance to speak to y'all. Yahuwah, in that day in America, it was right to have same-sex marriage, y'all. It was all right to kill my daughter and my son, y'all, before they were born, y'all. It was all right for me to sleep with this man's wife, Yeshua. It was all right to continue fornicating and sleep with 10 women like I want to, y'all. It was all right, y'all.
Or this woman's husband.
This woman's husband. It's all right, y'all, to lie, to cheat, and steal, to get this house, to get this job, to get what I wanted, Yeshua, to sell in this world, y'all. It was all right to lie. It was all right. That is the commandments of man, traditions of men. Well, that's leaven. It says, come out of there. It says right there, touch not, taste not, or handle not, which all are to perish with the using. I like that, with the using. All should perish. with the using. So you go ahead and use all that you want to, what Americans say you can do, with the using. But you will perish. Point blank. You will perish. 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Verse 14. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Believers, is plural. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? And what concord have the Messiah with Belial? Or what part have he that believe with the infidel? And what agreement have the temple of Yah with idols? For ye are the temple of the living Yah. And Yah has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their Yah, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them. This is what Yah says. Wherefore come out from among them. Be you separate, says Yah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and you shall be my son and daughter, says Yah Almighty. Yah Almighty. It says right here, come out from among them, verse 17. Be you separate, says Yah, and touch not the unclean thing, and I'll receive you. That's what Yah said. So at the time, Apostle Paul was prophesying at that time. He was speaking about Yah. Yah talking about, I will receive you, touch not, handle not, taste not, or I'll receive you. If you're doing those things out there, I don't care all the grace you want to talk about Yeshua. He ain't receiving you because you ain't repenting. If you ain't repenting, that means you ain't turning. So it means y'all ain't receiving you. Point blank. That's easy. You want to talk about the grace of Yah, the grace of Yahusha. There ain't no grace in this if you ain't repenting. That's why he said, be you separate. Yah said, I will receive you. He ain't receiving nobody if you ain't repenting. If you still stay in the same act, continue in the same act. Me and the minister was talking about it the other day. He got friends that are same sex. That's fine, but he's talking to them every time. He says their mother is Pentecostal, and she don't feel too good going around her mother and father. She don't know how to tell them. Because she grew up in the church. She know better, man. That's what I'm trying to tell him, that she get convicted from the rock of dish. Y'all are still dealing with her. That's why she don't feel good. That's good. Be thankful that you get dealing with y'all. It's bad when y'all ain't talking to you. You don't feel no gut feeling no more. No kick in the side or pull. You don't feel ashamed. It's bad when you don't feel ashamed. That means, man, you got a reprobate mind. You are strong to lose. That means you got prideful now, and then y'all's not dealing with you no more. Talking about I can't go home no more. I don't know how to tell my mother, my father. They don't receive it. They said the great grandmother knows already. Yes, she discerned that spirit out. I'm trying to tell you that. You got to come out for that level today.
I will say this, even though they perceive to live a righteous life, they don't live by the laws, and that allows Satan in, and you think you live a good life, but you letting Satan in unbeknownst to you, and now your children succumb, yourself succumb, and now you really ain't got no power to rebuke that demon because you live a sinner's life.
That's correct too.
So she can be mad all you want, but you help your child to this path. I guarantee them Easter y'all was dying in.
Yes, but we all understand that. I understand all that too, but point is that y'all still dealing with her to bring her here.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas if her parents not doing still that, but still when she got that age like us sharing, everybody got a choice to make.
Yeah. But many parents fail the children too.
Oh yeah, that too. But they was ignorance too.
Yeah, I ain't saying that.
It's real ignorance.
Until
Growing
you
up
get it right.
until you get the revelation, man. But y'all let everybody know.
Yeah.
Before you go on that deathbed, you gonna know. It's gonna come your path. Like Elder King, 30 years, came his path. Boom.
And he had to correct
Correct that thing quick. Same with me. Came up power with the Shabbat, but still I didn't have no Yeshua. He came quick. It was my turn. You know what I'm saying? And what you gonna do with it? Came on my brother right there. He already know when I start changing the wind, changing the direction, he looks to make sure I'm right or not. You know what I'm saying? And he sees I'm right, he's switching up. Because I don't want to be lost, and if it's wrong, you know what I'm saying? If I'm doing wrong, I got to get it right. But if I'm switching up, he's going to make sure if it's right or not because I'm switching up. I don't switch until it's right. You know, it's like the cutting of the wind. And just like I said, I was doing Shabbat, you know, then the Yerusha came, man, I got cut in the stomach. But it was right. Then I had to come up out of there. People don't receive, especially on Yom Rishon. I don't go to many of Yom Rishon because they don't receive me. And then, like I said, when I speak now, I said I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying, disrespect anybody. I speak Yeshua and Yah. I say that every time. And the pastor's like, thank you, thank you. Everyone's like, thank you. I understand that because, you know, when I start speaking it, y'all gonna get mad at me. Y'all just let you know. Y'all gonna start getting mad at me real quick. Y'all gonna start sniffing your nose here, okay, turn your head. That's just natural with them. That's just natural with them. But I said, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but Yahuwah to y'all, and Yahusha, Yahusha, Jesus, I'm just letting you know that's how I speak now. Because I want deep embedded in me. And I speak that thing. Because I got the revelation now. I seen the light. And my soul repented and turned. That's why I teach here. If Yahuwah shows you, man, repent. It ain't not too hard. Just get it. I know it's hard to get it started right, but once you start going, it will get easy. It was hard, but I kept it going. Started talking about me a little bit, and shut off back my back a little bit, Elder King. They'll start talking, then get it back, kept on going, and it's getting easier now. Yahushua get easy. Shabbat, especially Shabbat. They're really laughing at Shabbat, man. That 10 years ago was hard, Brother Favorite. 10 years around here, ain't nobody giving somebody the 7 day Adventist, but they ain't really strong. But around here, bro, man, it was hard, bro. It was hard, man. But I did. I thank y'all that I stayed on keeping the Shabbat, because I feel good now. Because I know the scriptures. I know what y'all said. Just like I said, the silence of heart. I love his commandments. We said in Psalms. I love it. Let's go on. Let's go to reason why. Reason why you stay out of the group. Let's go to Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 11. This is what y'all was giving me, boy. I love it. Y'all was straight drilling my head today. I like when y'all be drilling me, man. I love the doctrine, boy. When the word start teaching, talking to you, boy, I love when y'all just straight talking to me, man. Bereshit, chapter 11. This is the reason why you come out of the group 11. We're talking about the groups of 11. Not talking about the individual, but I'm talking about when you get in a group that's nothing but sin. Bereshit, chapter 11. I'm going to go ahead and read down, one and down. You know that about the Bible. And the whole earth was of one language and one speech. And it came to pass, they journeyed from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick, for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto Shamarine, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And Yah came down to see the city and the tower, which the children of men built. And Yah said, behold, the people is one, and they had all one language. And this they began to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have image to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. All right. I wish y'all just told me right now. I wish I went to the Apocrypha. I like how the Apocrypha says it. The Apocrypha explains a little bit more. You get a chance to read it. But I like this where he says in verse 6, and Yah said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they began to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Nothing. And y'all talking about leaven, man. He's talking about sin. Think about these son of men. They was going up. If you read the Apocrypha, they was going up there to the city to try to build a tower to Shamarim to curse Yah, to take him off his throne. That's what they was trying to do. They were trying to defile things of Yah. That's the reason why. They say, we'll go this, there won't be no more floods or anything like that. That's the reason why we read the Apocrypha. You know what I'm saying? You read the Apocrypha, they was talking about some crazy things, man. You know, if you read that. But the point I'm trying to get at with leaven is, y'all said, I got to destroy them. Because you couldn't restrain them. There was one. They were all in one spirit. One. You couldn't restrain them. That means there was power in one. That's what y'all telling. So it's power in sin. If you all come to one to do one sin, there's power. That's why Satan took 1/3 of the Melchites. I'm going to get there. Because there was power. Satan could do all just one. He got 1/3 of them, so they'll be restrained to be one. Oneness. Oneness is sin. That's why he said, let's go down. Mr. Fairley. He said, don't let me go by myself. I do it. But man, he could fix the rest of them come down to the daughters of the land, man. You know what I'm saying? Know what evil ever going to do. They all join in to be one. Restrained. That's why I'm trying to tell you. When you stay in a group, man, when you do a group of sin, it's hard to get out of that group because it's one, it's power. That's why you got to stay out of the group. Be individual. You come in a group as in a house of y'all and be one thing, one accord, one mind, and y'all cool and keep his commandment. That is great. But if you're going to do sin in a group, it's hard to get out that. That's why the men be joining gangs and stuff. It's hard to get out gangs, man. You know, because they are restrained. They are in one power. They're doing all sin in one. It's hard to get out that. And you and your little righteous self trying to get out of it, and you don't even know Yaakov. You don't even know the power of Yeshua. And you trying to get out your own righteousness. You're going to die. Let's go to Numbers chapter 16. Talk about Korah. Numbers chapter 16. Now Korah, the son of first one, Izhar, the son of Korthon, son of Levi, and Dathan, the Abiram, the son of Eliab, and Abiram, son of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth, son of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Yisrael, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Musa, against Aaron, and said unto them, you take too much upon you, seeing all the congregations are Kadesh, every one of them, and Yah is among them. Wherefore then lift you up yourself above the congregation of Yah. And when Musa heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah, and to all his company, saying, even tomorrow Yah will show who are his, and who is holy. This I'm talking about. And will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen, will he cause to come near unto him. This do take you a census, Korah, and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before Yah tomorrow. And it shall be that man whom Yah do choose. He shall be holy. You take too much upon you, you sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, hear, I pray you, you sons of Levi, see it but a small thing unto you, that Yah of Yisrael has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of Yah, and to stand before the congregation to minister to them. and he hath brought you near to him, and all your brothers, the son of Levi, with you, and seek you the priesthood also, for which cause both you and all the company are gathered together against Yah. And what is Aaron that you murmur against him? What is Aaron? Verse 12. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the son of Eli, which said, will not come up. Is it a small thing that you have brought us up out of the land that flow with milk and honey, and to kill us in the wilderness, except you make yourself altogether a prince over us? Moreover, you have not brought us into a land that flows with milk and honey, or give us inheritance, or fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. I want you to remember verse 12 to 14. And Moses was very wroth, and said unto Yah, respect not thou the offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, but you and all your company before Yah, you and they and Aaron tomorrow, and take every man his censer, and put incense in them, and bring you before Yah, every man his censer, 250 censers, you also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the time of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of Yah appeared unto all the congregation. And Yah spake unto Musa and to Aaron, saying, separate yourself from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their face and said, O Yah, of the spirits of all flesh, that one man sin, wilt thou be wroth with a whole congregation? Now I want you to see that, verse 22. This was Moses praying. Moses still praying, even though he told them, y'all to respect their offerings. Again, verse 22. And they fell upon their face and said, O Yah, the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? That's a question. Verse 23. And Yah spake unto Musa, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Musa rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Yisrael followed him. And he spake to the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, touch nothing of theirs. These should be consumed in all their sins. Verse 27. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dorothy, and Abram on every side, and Dorothy and Abram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. Musa said, hereby you shall know that Yah has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then Yah have not sent me. But if Yah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all the appearance, all that pertaineth unto them, and they go down quickly into the pit, then you shall understand that these men have provoked Yah. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed them up, and their houses, all the men that obtained unto Korah, and all their goods, they and all that pertaineth to them, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from amongst the congregation. I stop right there. Again, we're talking about leaven in the group. Korah stood up with 250 renowned men, princes, talking against Musa, trying to get the whole congregation to go against Musa. That's what Yah says, separate from them. Even Musa called Abiathar and Nathan, come up out of them, man. Come. They said, nah, we ain't hearing you, Musa. He said that. So y'all said again, Musa said again, I want y'all to let you know, come from among these men, all that. Y'all gonna do a great thing. He gave another warning. But you should have heard what, after I got through reading all this stuff with Dathan and them, all their families, tents, animals, a new thing. Guess what happened? All that was evil, swallowed up in the ground, alive. Earthquake. Think about that. Y'all gave a warning. Y'all gave a warning. Come from out under the leaven. They were a group of people. Look how a group of people went against Musa. 250 renowned men. Y'all had to show them. These are 250 renowned men. People that are up there in class. They would separate y'all's people against y'all. There would have been division. That's what I'm trying to get out. Excuse me. Division. That's why y'all was doing these things. Y'all don't want no division. Even Yahushua said that, can a kingdom stand with the division? Even Satan's kingdom is not division.
That ain't right.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't right, but they ain't division. We are division. That's what y'all want. He want no division. That's why he had to separate the one and the tile by. There was no division. They could do anything. Same thing with Korah. If they would have stayed keep on doing that, they could have did anything. You had over 1 million people walking through the wilderness. Think about that. If they would have stayed up and did what they said, there would have been division. They would not be going to the promised land. They would do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? There you go. I will get there too. But y'all had to separate that. He said that. Come out from among them. And that's what we have to do now. We don't get in these groups. You know, they protesters, man, but black man lies, whatever that's called, man. Yeah, that's a good cause, but you won't cause me in that.
Lesbians are that
You know what I'm saying? A lot of women running that thing. Where the men stand up talking? They're scared. They stand up talking. They know they're going straight to jail. You know, they be pointing at women to talk. There ain't nobody gonna do nothing with the women. You know? But the point I'm trying to get at, man, there's some things that might look good. If it ain't of y'all, you know you need to be out of it. Don't have no parts of it. Black man lives matter, whatever you say that thing is. Black lives matter. Y'all's not in that. Tell you straight up. It ain't in that. They're doing a good thing. I understand that. They're killing all they want to stop. That's good. But Yahuwah ain't in that. You won't catch me in that. You know? Because are they going to the house of Yah? When the last time they lifted up the name of Yah? When the last time they prayed? I ain't seen none of that. I don't see none of that stuff.
They probably praying, but they ain't praying to Yah.
They ain't in the group of praying. They would have been walking around streets praying. They would have said, praise Yah, lift up his name, everything else. Reading scriptures. I ain't seen none of that. So they're doing something really good for themselves. That's great.